Hello, welcome to the lesson. So you've chosen to learn Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which is a brilliant choice because it's a real classy, nice little jazzy piece that will sound lovely when you play it to people, especially if you use sing as well. Then you'll be able to play the chords and sing over the top and it'll sound wonderful. Now what I'm going to show you in this lesson is the chords, and I'm also going to show you the melody, but really you'll only be able to play one thing at once unless you've got 4 arms, and I doubt if you have. Okay, now the bar chords that I'm going to show you, I just want to warn you that I consider bar chords to be quite an advanced technique. If you remember in the free 12-part course, one of the lessons I showed you bar chords. Now I hope you've had a chance to practice. Some people find them more difficult than others, but I'm just warning you, it does take a lot of strength from your fingers to hold the bars down, so you know, be patient with yourself on this one. It might take a bit of persistence, but it'd be totally worth it in the end. Right, so let's get on with it. I just want to demonstrate to you now what I'm going to show you in this lesson. So the chords are going to sound like this, and I'm going to play it in this really relaxed type of rhythm like this. And then that was the intro, and then there's the verse section. You can see it's a real gentle swing like that. There's also a second section which I'll show you, and we'll also do the melody, etc. Okay, so let's get on with it. So the first thing we're going to do is learn the intro chords. So we're going to use an A chord, and what that is a bar chord. So hold your first finger flat across all the strings, and just to clarify, when you hold all those strings down, you should be able to pluck all the strings, and they should all be held down at fret 5, and you should be able to hear them all like that. Okay, now I know from experience that most people have to practice that a lot to get that strength in their finger, and really, you know, this finger should be totally rigid and straight from tip to knuckle. Okay, so I'll leave that up to you. So what you need to do for this A chord is put the middle finger onto the 3rd string at fret 6, and then put these 2 fingers, what we've got there is the 5th string at fret 7, and the little finger on the 4th string at fret 7. So that's your standard bar chord major shape. So what I suggest is we're just going to strum each chord twice. Okay, next chord, F sharp minor. Take your bar all the way up to fret 9. And with this chord, we're just using 5 strings. We're not going to bother with the 6th string. The middle finger goes onto the 2nd string at fret 10, and then these 2 fingers go on the 4th and 3rd string, both at 11. So pluck 5 strings downwards. There you go. Next chord, B minor 7. Quite simple. It's a bar across all the strings at fret 7, and then put your 3rd finger onto the 5th string at fret 9, and pluck all the strings. By the way, I realise that I'm moving quite quickly, but there's a lot of chords to get through in this song. So you may have to pause the video or wind it back and watch it several times. Use the chord chart, you know, to help you with the shapes. And also remember, you've got the PDF document that came with this video that you can print out. It's got all the chord boxes there and all the tab and everything. So, you know, in the end, you'll be fine, okay? So the next chord is, what do we call this? I think we call it a D6 over E, and it is quite simply just a bar at fret 7, and you're going to hold it down and pluck 5 strings. Okay, there you go, nice and simple. So let's just recap over those first 4 chords. We've got an A, an F sharp minor, a B minor 7, D6 over E. Okay, so I suggest you play those intro chords round twice, repeat them all twice. Now let's move on to the verse chords, starting with the A again, same as before. Now what we're going to do is move down to bar at fret 2, and this is going to be an F sharp minor, but before we did it right up here, and this time we're going to do a lower octave. So it's a bar at fret 2, the fifth string at fret 4 and the little finger on the fourth string at fret 4, and the middle finger's not doing anything, okay? So there we've got, excellent. Now is C sharp minor 7, and what that is a bar at fret 4, just covering the 5 strings, okay? So this is one of those shapes where we're not going to pluck the 6th string. Middle finger is on the 2nd string at fret 5, third finger is on the 4th string at fret 6. There you go. What I'm going to ask you to do now is an A7, and what you can do is start with an A, but take your little finger off and put it onto the 2nd string at fret 8, okay? There you go. Look at the chord box next to me just to help you with that. So that's an A7. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is just keep going, and then when I get to the end of this section, I'll go through it all in slow motion, all right? But let's keep going for the minute. Keep your bar at fret 5, just covering the 5 strings, and we're going to do a D major 7, and that's the middle finger on the 3rd string at fret 6. Listen carefully. The 3rd finger on the 4th string at fret 7, and the little finger on the 2nd string at fret 7. Pluck the 5 strings. Great. Now we're just going to adjust it slightly. The middle finger is now going to hop onto the 2nd string at fret 6, and the 3rd finger goes, it actually stays where it was on the 4th string at fret 7. Okay, that's D minor 7. Excellent, good. Stick with me. You know, don't worry if you're not remembering it all. You'll be fine once you've gone through it all. Go back to the A chord, and then the A7 chord, same as before. Excellent. Now we move on to the D major 7 again, same as the one we learned just now. And then swap to D minor 7, same as before. And then back to A again, believe it or not. Now at this point, we're going to go up to F sharp minor 7, which is the same chord as what we did in the intro. Bar at fret 9, just covering the 5 strings. Middle finger on the 2nd string, these 2 fingers on strings 4 and 3. And then it's actually B minor 7 again, same as the intro. D6 over E, same as the intro. And then back to the A chord. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is finish up on an E7 chord. Let me just explain how that goes. That's the 5th string at fret 7, with the 3rd finger, by the way. The middle finger goes on the 4th string at fret 6. The 1st finger goes on the 2nd string at fret 5. And the little finger goes on the 3rd string at fret 7, okay? Now we're just going to strum 5 strings. Okay, well done for sticking with me through all that. What I'm going to do now is demonstrate all those verse chords. Not the intro, just the verse section. So here goes. A, F sharp minor, C sharp minor 7, A7, D major 7, D minor 7, back to A, A7, D major 7, D minor 7, and then back to A, up to F sharp minor, B minor 7, D6 over E, and then finish on A, finish on E7. There you go. Okay, so go and work with that. That's your main section of the verse. Now there's a second part to this song, so let's get through it. It's the A for 4 strums, B minor 7 for 2 strums, D6 over E for 2 strums, and then do that again, like this. Good. So you've done those twice now. Now we're going to play the A for 4 strums. Move it down a fret. So the bar's now at fret 4, and this shape is still the same. And what we've got now is, you could either call it an A flat, because it's moved down, or we can call it a G sharp. It's 2 different names for the same chord. We're going to call it a G sharp, just to make things clear. 4 strums on that one. And then B minor 7, which of course you already know, D6 over E. That was 4 strums on each of them. Okay, so let me demonstrate those chords so you can follow what we were doing there. A for 4 strums, B minor 7 for 2, D6 over E for 2, A for 4 strums, B minor 7 again, there you go, A for 4, G sharp for 4, B minor 7 for 4, and then D6 over E. And what you can do, just to make it slightly more interesting, is put your little finger on the first string at fret 9 and then take it off. Okay, 2 strums on, 2 strums off. Right, there we go. That's a lot of chords. You know, I think you're really brave for tackling this song, but it will sound so worth it in the end. I want to demonstrate that second section at full speed so you can get a feel for it. Into the verse. Okay, you can get a feel for the rhythm I was using then. And you would notice that I was using my fingers to pluck a little bit. I wasn't just using my thumb, but what I suggest you do is go and experiment with the rhythm and see if you can come up with your own interesting way of strumming it. I'll leave that up to you. So finally, I want to show you the melody. Okay, so let's do it. We're going to start on the 3rd string at fret 2. 1st string at fret 5 with the little finger, step down onto fret 4 on the 1st string, and then play the 2nd string at fret 5. So let me demonstrate those 4 notes. And then play the 1st string at fret 2, and then middle finger onto fret 3, and then little finger up to 5. So let me demonstrate that section. And then play the 3rd string at fret 2 again. Jump to the little finger up to fret 6 on the 2nd string. Make sure you've got fret 6 there. And then jump down to fret 5. Good. Now we're going to use the 4th string at fret 4. And I'm using my 3rd finger to do it. And then use your middle finger onto the 2nd string at fret 3, off to fret 2, and then the 3rd string at fret 2, and then fret 4. Let me just demonstrate from there. Okay, hope you're following this okay. 1st finger onto the 2nd string at fret 2, and then middle finger up to fret 3. So that section sounds like this. Good. Now play the 3rd string at fret 4, 3rd string at fret 1, and then fret 2, and then back up to fret 4. Okay, that was all on the 3rd string. And then play the 2nd string at fret 2, and then finish on the 3rd string at fret 2. So that last little section goes like this. Okay, the whole thing goes like this. Okay, so that goes with the main verse section of the song. Now the second part, the second section, has a different melody. It goes like this. And what that is the little finger on the 2nd string at fret 5, and you're going to pluck it and then go off to fret 2. And you'll see I did 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2. And then that was fret 5, and then middle finger onto fret 3 on the second string this time. And then the first string at fret 5, off to fret 4, and then off to fret 2. And then the second string at fret 2. So if we join that together, it goes like this. Right, and then we're going to do a very similar thing again. We're going to start with fret 5 and fret 2 again. And then this time we're going to play fret 5 once more, and then go to fret 4 on the second string, little finger up to fret 7. Okay, I hope you're following the tab at the bottom of the screen there. If you keep your eye on the numbers, you'll be absolutely fine with this. Finish on the first string at fret 4 twice, up to fret 7, down to fret 2, and then fret 4. Okay, let me join that whole second section together, and then it's up to you to go and practice it then. Here goes. And then back into the main verse section. Okay, I think you get the idea. I've given you all the chords, all the melodies, everything you need there, so it's your job to go and practice that now and go and make it sound wonderful. And then when you've done it, go and play it to people, go and entertain people. All right, there we go. Go and have fun, go and get on with it. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you soon in another lesson, and make sure you email me and tell me how you're getting on, because I love to hear from people. All right, bye-bye.